Whoop-a. We're editing again. Let's do it. Let's do it. I have the song from Moana stuck in my head, hardcore. It's really really good. It's really good. 'Cause the line where the sky meets the sea, it's calling me. No one knows how far it goes. Hey, what's up, N Green? Welcome to stream. You know, the usual, crocheting a face hugger. I've been pretty good. I've been decently good. Hey, hey, what's up, Carl? Greetings. Edits are going pretty smooth. I started tracking my time. Discovered about how fast I'm going through chapters. Oh my god, some of these edits are so bad. Oh, the mystic had always stood in serenity's mold. Uh, what the fuck does that mean? So what is secondary school education and what is tertiary education? What years do those equate to? Like what years of somebody's life generally? Because those don't mean anything here in the U.S. of A. Oh boy, going off to uni. You kids and your schools. I dropped out of my very expensive high school, private high school, when I was 16 because I wanted to start work, and I went and got a high school diploma from a high school that specialized in giving diplomas to kids who didn't want to just have a GED. So I missed out on the not only the college experience, but like most of the high school experience. Like all my friends from high school had like 2 more years of school and parties and the stuff that people do between the ages of 17 and 18, and I was already working. Ah! A rare book archivist. Maybe basically the coolest sounding job that exists. I didn't know that was an option. I might stop writing. Oh boy. Yeah, film is tough. Luckily, the Australia-New Zealand film market is doing quite well and shows no real signs of slowing down. So you're gonna have an easier time down there if you than you would if you were to like move to Hollywood, for example. Speaking of which, Carl, did you read the script? I forget. Did you comment on it already? You might have said something about it already, but I can't remember. Ah, you did. Yes. No, you were the one who talked about it the most. We had a whole conversation about it. I forget who I talked to about what with. Ah, sorry. We talked a lot, the most about it, and I should have realized that that would have been you because you're the person who's studying film and television. Chapter 12 is done. 28 minutes. Not bad. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm going to refill my coffee real quick. Be right back. Cause the light where the sky meets the sea, it's calling me. Nothing left to say except you're welcome. So I'll just toss this out there. If you haven't already seen Moana, it is so good. It has what it's too early to say considering I've only seen the movie once, but it has what might be my favorite Disney song ever, which is How Far I'll Go, which is it's just it's just such a good song. It, like, legit makes me cry a lot. Nothing left to say except you're welcome. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Nothing left to say except you're welcome. Just an ordinary demiguy. All right, back to it. Yeah, it is really, really good. It's got lots of, like, okay, so that now that I'm a parent of 3, any movie that has a parent-child relationship, or like parent-child or child-grandparent or parent-grandparent, any that sort of relationship kills me. So there were like 4 scenes in Moana that just made me cry like a little baby. It was amazing. And excuse me. Almost all of the songs, by the way, were written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which is amazing. And like, if you know Lin-Manuel, if you know Hamilton, if you know Into the Heights, you can hear it very clearly. You listen to the song and you're like, oh my god, that's totally Lin-Manuel. Like, he's not, actually he does sing some of the songs, but you just hear the song and you're like, that's Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's pretty great. Oh, yeah, I hear you on that one. You must not be excited about a dog's purpose then. Oh, I haven't cast myself in a cameo in Underrealm. If I appear in the if I appear in Underrealm film adaptations, it'll be like a Peter Jackson cameo where he's just there for a second and like he doesn't even say anything. He's just there. But he's there in all the Lord of the Rings movies. You know, I think he's there in all the Hobbit movies, but maybe not. I don't actually remember off the top. But he's in all three Lord of the Rings movies, but like he's there and he's gone. That's what a true cameo is. Maybe like one line, you know, like Stan Lee when he cameos in the Marvel movies, he'll apply he'll appear like once, you know. I mean, I guess I kind of write myself into things. Some people think I'm Jem, and some people think I'm Jordell. And I really don't think those two could be much further apart from each other. Um, I am actually Calvin from the Realm Keepers. That is the number one person that I am in my own books. That was the only character where I sat down and I was like, this is me at 13 years old. That's what this character is. Yeah, I do not understand the Jordell thing. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. I was a pretty rambunctious 13-year-old. I was a pretty rambunctious teenager. I wasn't ever particularly awkward internally. Thinking back on some shit that I did when I was a teenager, I cringe, but like at the time I thought I was the coolest person who'd ever cooled, you know? I still think the funniest scene I've ever written was with Calvin in Wormspire, where he accidentally, or went not accidentally, but where he attacks the goblins. That is literally, like, I don't think I'll ever write anything funnier than that. That is my favorite scene out of anything ever, period, no matter what. Oh, I will always love that scene. Oh my god. Nice, Carl. Which character said ahem? Was it Jem? It sounds like something Jem would say. Was that where I wrote, he did not actually, he did not clear his throat, but actually said ahem. Was it that? Was it that scene? Did I write that in Weremage, or am I just imagining that? Jem is great. I love him. I love him dearly. That's the one. I want to find and read that again. Do 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 do. I love that. Yeah, there's a few moments like that in Realm Keepers. Oh. Carl, literally just take a picture of the paper and email me that. Like, I will read that just as easily as typed words, trust me. Ugh. And I do highly recommend that you read Realm Keepers. I actually quite enjoy that series. I can't wait until I have the time that I can sit down and finish it. Yeah, Jesus Christ, no, please don't, please, Carl, please don't do that. Although, I should let you know, very shortly, you are going to be able to buy signed books with Amazon Prime shipping. And, like, Amazon, like, if you can buy a book from Amazon by default without paying for international shipping, soon you will be able to do that. I'm very excited. We've just enlisted in Amazon's Advantage program, which is pretty badass. And basically the way that it works is you are a publisher. And you can't do it if you're just like a dude, right? But we actually are we're an S Corp, you know? And we have multiple titles and this, that, and the other thing. So we qualify for that now. And so, like, it's crazy because, like, I created our account and then I said, you know, our first title is Nightblade. And Amazon, like, checked it out. And then a few days later, they were like, cool, send us a box of Nightblade for us to, you know, sell and ship and all that stuff. And so I get to sign them and ship them. And so they are going to be in Amazon's system, picked by Amazon, fulfilled by Amazon, shipped by Amazon, but I will have signed them before that happens. And that's just really, really cool. And that's going to be the case for all books in the future. And it also, I'm very excited about this. It also means, I get to put print books on pre-order. Print books on pre-order. Oh my God. If you mean Carl, wrong, yeah, yes. So I was doing it very wrong. Except I wasn't doing it wrong. I was doing the best possible option that I had. Like, Amazon Seller Central is the only option most people have. But if you are a registered S Corp, if you have multiple titles, etc., 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 if you have like a good, like literally they check your credit rating. So like, if you don't have good credit, you can't do it. All that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to having print books on pre-order. And literally just Amazon takes care of all of it. I produce and this is going to, obviously this is going to require that I completely change the way I do my books. I have to have a done book before I can make it available for sale, right? I need the cover, I need the inside, like I need the insides to be done. I need to finish a book months before it releases. But once that's done, you know, I'm very, very excited. 2017 is going to be fucking badass. Cause the lie, cause the sign will learn. And then we're only going to have correct covers, like correct, awesome, amazing covers. And we're never going to put a book out that needs to be re-edited. I'm very excited. And I have mentioned this on my patron videos, patron exclusive videos before, but we have the first Underrealm authors, who are not me, beginning work on their books. So next year we should be releasing other authors' books. Ah. Yes, exactly, Carl. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I actually I went I've been on this extensive project the last few days where I have been assembling a master timeline of everything I've ever created. Everything. Let me get this. And first of all, there's a lot of stuff, like more than I realized. But second of all, I color coded it, right? And it just made me realize how few things how few books are compared to everything else, right? It's crazy. Oh, hey Rio, what's up? Yes, good first step, Carl, is having having books written and ready to publish and everything. But yeah, so like here's this master timeline, and this is literally from the first YouTube videos I ever made back in 2011, and then like I didn't do anything in 2012. I should make these. I should fill these with so that these lines split years. So back in 2011, I made my first 10 YouTube videos, and then nothing ever happened with that. 2012, I made not really my first film, but kind of my first film that's like that you can still like watch. One more YouTube video, and then I started publishing, and I published my um, first three books. And then 2013, I started publishing more. So green is for book, right? And then all the purple is podcasts. And so 2013 is podcast, just but podcasts, just crap tons of podcasts. And then 2014 is when I switched from podcasting to YouTube. And so then it's just vlog. But look how rarely books show up. They're so rare, you know? Just these little plink. There's a book. Podcast, vlog, podcast. Months and months and months go by creating all this stuff. VlogaNovel started, everything like that. And then plink, book. Podcast, vlog, plink, book. Podcast, gaming, vlog. Like all this shit. Crazy. Anyway, I quite liked the experience of putting all this shit together and just realizing how much stuff I've done, you know? Crazy. Okay. Ria, I'm not going to say who yet, just because until, like, for one thing, contracts aren't even signed yet. Like, we're working out what the contracts are going to look like. For another thing, like, who knows what could happen between then now and then, right? Like, everything could fall apart, their books could never happen, and then I wouldn't want, you know, that to be a thing that disappointed people, or just, I just wouldn't want that to be a thing. But I can tell you a little bit, I guess, about how the authors were selected. They are people who I know. They are people whose writing I have seen. Both, so far there are two different authors, kind of. There's one author, and then there is a writing team who write together under a pen name. and they don't. Neither one of those people. There's no like published works yet, but they have works that are like going to be ready to be published, and that's actually one criteria that I have. I don't want to bring an author into Legacy unless they've already got something published that they own free and clear. And part of that reason is just so that they know a lot about the process, so that they sort of understand more about it. And the other thing is that I like, with part of the company goal of Legacy being uplifting authors who are not, you know, straight white men. I want their Underrealm book, like when I publish their Underrealm book, they're going to sell hundreds, thousands of copies and whatever. I want that to funnel, obviously, into more Underrealm stuff, but I also want it to funnel to their books. I want to help grow their own audience, and that's impossible if they don't have their own books out. And then, yeah, the only other criteria really other than that is that I didn't want, you know, like the first probably half dozen to a dozen authors who come into Underrealm, we're going to have like a moratorium on straight white dudes, you know. I'm not saying it'll never happen. Like one day I want Chuck Wendig to write an Underrealm book, you know, that would be fucking amazing. But for now, we want to start on the ground floor, since it is a company objective. We want to start on the ground floor with not that, with as many diverse viewpoints and storytellers and creators as we can possibly accumulate. So it's all kind of like, the selection process isn't like very exact. It's kind of up in the air, and like for at least, like, I have the first two people working on their books. I have a third one who I already know, who I'm going to talk to early next year, and, you know, talk to them about the idea of doing it. He's great. He's awesome. Really, really hope he's interested in it. And I know like the next like 3 or 4 people that I want to ask after that. And then beyond that, we're going to have to figure out like I don't even know how all that's going to go, how all the stories are going to tie together and everything like that. So I have to figure all that shit out. Rhea, I actually had, so you'll see here, I had Unsaid right here, there we go. I had it right here as a book, and then I had it right here as a film, because I published it as a book 2 years ago, and I published it as a film this year. So it's both. Which I think is cool. Oh, you didn't see here or here because I didn't put it up on the screen, because I'm a dork. Okay, so it's here. The blue right there in the middle of the screen, that is Unsaid the film. And then in 2014, near the beginning of 2014, you have it there, published on my birthday, actually, as a book. So there you go. Okay, so I can say that I have not offered it to Marcel. I can also say that Marcel is definitely on the list. Yeah, Marcel's definitely on there. I love Marcel. She's fucking amazing. She's actually one of the main reasons that I want to visit Austin in April. Like, I'm not going to go to the Smarter Artist Summit. I can't. I'm still not. I don't know if I'll ever be able to, but I'm definitely not able to right now. But a lot of friends are going to be in town. You know, like I really want to see Amy again. I haven't seen Amy in forever. But I really want to meet Marcel, like a lot, like very, very badly. I love her. She's just amazing. So. But I actually do like that Unsaid is on there twice, because it's the first time that any property of mine is available as a written work and as a film work. And that's just cool. Like, that's so cool. Makes me very happy. She drew the dagger and flipped it to catch the blade before placing the hilt in his hand. Yes, that works. Highly recommended, Ria. Ah, thank you, Ria. I appreciate that. I'm still not good at compliments, though. But thank you anyway, because I know that you believe it. Yay. It was funny. I did a I did a thing today. I went for a walk, and literally at the apex of the walk, at the farthest point where I had just turned around and started heading back home, my phone died. So the podcast I was listening, I didn't get to listen to a podcast the whole way home, and it was an hour and a half walk, so it was 45 minutes out, and then the phone died, and so I had to walk 45 minutes back without a podcast, which, fine. Like, it's not a big deal. I just really enjoy my podcast time. And so I walked in silence for probably 20 minutes, and then I did a thing which I actually like doing every once in a while, and I highly recommend that you do it, especially if you are a creative, if you do want to be a creative person. Is I conducted an interview with myself, as if I was on a TV show, or more appropriately, like a radio show or like a documentary, where you can really get in depth on stuff. Because if I ever do appear on TV shows, it's going to be great. I'm going to love it. Like, I really hope to meet Colbert one day. Blah blah blah. But it's a TV show. It's a talk show. You're supposed to be funny. You're supposed to give the witty one-liners and the funny little quips. I love interviews, real interviews, where like you get to break shit down and whatever. And I talked about like the origin of Legacy and Underrealm and why it is the way it is, and that whole idea of lifting up fantasy authors and any creators really who are not, cishet white dudes. And it was just really, really great. And I think that you should do stuff like that because it helps you solidify your ideas a little bit more if you really picture explaining it to somebody else. If you have like a big goal, a big objective, a big thing that you want to accomplish, and you have to explain it like the person you're talking to, who doesn't exist, doesn't already know or understand it. Helps you get a better handle on your own thoughts, and it helps you, I think, if you ever have somebody who wants to know why you do what you do, or all that sort of stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like Rhea and Carl, like, it's not because the two authors that I am working with right now have not published, but they have written complete works, or like nearly complete works. They're editing in them or something like that. And that's sort of the thing, is like I do want them to publish before we publish their Underrealm books, but it's like, one, not only does a complete work let me see, like, there's a difference between it being able to write and being able to write a novel, right? Like, I can't just look. I mean, I guess I can't. If somebody can write, but they don't have a good grasp of story structure, like, I think that's something that I can help them with. But I would much rather read, like, something that they've finished and be like, oh, like, they get story structure. They get how to end a book. Because the number of books that I've read, and I hate to say this, but, like, especially from indies, where, like, the book doesn't end. All of a sudden there's just the end, but there's no actual, like, ending. There's no, like, satisfaction. There's no resolution to anything. And I'm just like, oh, this isn't great. So yeah, that's the sort of thing that I want to avoid, you know. That's awesome. Keep it going. Yeah, the whole talking to other people, or like conducting an interview on yourself. God, I love it. I love doing that. Do it, Carl. Yay, end green. That's awesome, Ria. Yeah, I mean, not having any experience with it myself, I can totally imagine how having like a big thing in your life, that you can't necessarily freely communicate to people would make it harder to get stuff out in a more general sense, you know? When you're expending so much energy holding stuff in, right? Well, Carl, I will give you a goal. I want you to publish, by the time I publish Yaren, the next new Underrealm book, Nightblade Book 6. That's what needs to happen. If you two want to have your own goal, that's fine, but I'm just saying. Rhea, if you don't want to commit to a goal yet, I will toss that out for Carl. Oh my god, they put parentheses in my book? Oh my god, he actually put parentheses in my book. Yaren should come out by March. Theoretically? I mean, March 7th is a Tuesday. And these days I am releasing my books on a Tuesday. So we could just go for March 7th, my birthday. Get out, Carl. Fucking ass. I know, right? Sleeping for scrubs. Chapter 13's done. That one took a while. We got to talking, that's fine. Nice, Rhea. Oh, thank you, Carl. I do not understand your statement any more than when my wife makes it, but I still thank you. That is hilarious and very, very sweet, Carl. Thank you. I know all of your all of your chat colors happen to be green. Crazy. What's my color? It should be blue, right? Oh, it's supposed to be blue. Is that blue? Mm. Oh, it is blue. It's just the inverted thingy. Quick bio break. Be right back. Oh, you know what? I defined that at one point, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I think he's in his 30s. Let me double check. Oh, 30. I said exactly 30. Very nice, N Green. N Green, by the way, are you in our Discord server? Awesome. Do I just not know your Discord name? Really? Oh yeah, look at that. There is an end green in there. Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied. I'm dying inside. Yeah. Do 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 do. Hey, what's up, Novelith? Oh my god, that face hugger is amazing. Well done, Engreen. Holy crap. That is brilliant. A suggested edit. And still have no wizard in capture. In capture? That's not a thing. I'm like 90% positive that's not a thing. Yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a definition of capture. Chapter 14 done. I think you're right, Engreen. Most of my chapters are around 2,000 words. Most. Some are considerably longer. Some are shorter. And the farther I go, the longer my chapters get, and the fewer of them there are. So, like, Nightblade had 40 chapters, and ended up at around, like, 78,000 words. Mystic had 41 chapters, but it ended up at, like, 85,000 words. And, Darkfire is almost 90,000 words, but it's 39 chapters. But then again, Shadeborn, I think, also has 40 chapters and is... Oh, no, so Shadeborn only had 35 chapters. And they're decently short. It kind of depends on the book. So, how big are your chapters? Hmm? 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 Oh my god, 20,000 in one chapter? Yeah. You know, I was rereading Lord of the Rings again recently, and I didn't really even... I never noticed this before, which is crazy considering how many times I've read the book. But he wrote these fat-ass chapters that were, like, split up into dozens of scenes. So chapter 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 pages, okay? Chapter 1, 22 pages. And let's say, like, a pretty good metric for pages is about 250 words per page, generally. Just, that's super general, obviously, but... So that's a 5,500 word chapter. That's a big chapter, you know. But I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 scenes. 13 scenes in that chapter. And they're all just split by a single empty line. So if we go based on the assumption that there are actually 5,500 words in the chapter, you're looking at an average of 425 words per scene, 13 scenes in one chapter. That's crazy. That's a great emote, Novelith. What? Nice. Yeah, I never really realized that until recently. I think I'm going to try that when it comes to Quest. Because I want Quest, I know this sounds pretentious as all fuck, but I want Quest to be the most serious fantasy novel I've ever written. I want it to be the one that people are like, holy shit. I want people to react to Quest the way they reacted to Rebel Yell. Because when people read Rebel Yell, they were like, oh, wow, like, I didn't know you could, like, you know, write. I was like, the fuck does that mean? I didn't say that. I thanked them, which is what you should always do when somebody's trying to pay a compliment to your writing, even if they're really, really bad at paying compliments. One, two, three, four. Yeah, so the Name of the Wind, first chapter, is 4 scenes. Second chapter is 4 pages. Tiny. Third chapter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scenes. Yeah, so this is a fairly common thing. Very much going against the grain with the way that I do it in the Underrealm books, which isn't bad. Carl, did you see the whole Rebel Yell discussion in Discord the other day where I showed the cast and all that sort of stuff? The cast, my who I had in mind for the cast. Oh, you missed that? Oh, where did that happen? Was that in Tavern Chat? Oh, Jesus. If it was in Tavern Chat, we're never going to find it. Jesus, a lot of shit happens in Tavern Chat. Okay, it was before the sexy jacket pictures. I remember that. Oh my god, I'll never find this shit. Yeah, it's in there somewhere. All right, later, Carl. This is going to be my last chapter for the night, seeing as how it's past 1 a.m. now. Okay, chapter 15. All done. And that's going to be it for the stream tonight. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Good to see you, Rhea. Good to see you, Carl and Green. Thanks so much for chatting. Novelith also here as well. Quiet in the chat as always, Novelith. Doesn't love me anymore. Yeah, I think that was everybody. Oh, man. More streaming tomorrow. I still have 30 days. I have September, April, June, and November. All right, so we're definitely not going to finish. We're not going to finish Darkfire in November, which is fine. That's okay. But I want to finish it this week. And we're doing an average of, so what, 2.5 hours, 1, 2, 3, 4 chapters. Recently, we are doing about 45 minutes a chapter, and since we have 24 times 45 divided by 60, so we got about 18 hours left. I'd love to say that we could do that in like 3 days, but working on edits for 6 hours a day is pretty crazy. 3 or 4 days though, really soon. Yeah, so we could get it done by the weekend, hopefully, theoretically. All right, but that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks again for coming and hanging out. As always, you make my work bearable, and love to talk to y'all. Catch you all another time. Bye.